search for tenderness, it isn't hard to find. You can have the love you need to live. But if you look for truthfulness, you might just as well be blind. It always seems to be so hard to give. Honesty is such a lonely word. Everyone is so untrue. Honesty is hardly ever heard. Mostly what I need from you.
I love this Billy Joel song, and it's a great one if you're a piano student learning to play from chord charts. You can get my chord chart that I made for the song for free at the link in the video description. And it works so well for playing from a chart because, for the most part, we are following this classic pop piano approach with quarter notes in the right hand, playing either a 3-note chord or a 4-note chord, and then octaves in the left hand playing the bass note, typically on a half note, maybe with a little bit of extra rhythm added in by alternating between pinky and thumb. So that's the arrangement approach, right? And you can basically apply that to all of these different chords that you see on the chart, and you'll have something that sounds pretty darn similar to what you hear on the Billy Joel recording. So in this tutorial video, I'm going to focus on some of these details, little melodic hooks, moments that you hear that he does the same way every time, that go a bit beyond the information you can see on a chord chart. And those are the kind of things where when you're learning a song independently, you can rely on your ear to pick those elements out. I'll also help a bit with the harmony in some of these more advanced chord symbols, like the A9, the F9, but I am assuming in this tutorial video that you're familiar with the concepts of triads and inversions. We'll consider those prerequisites because this is really more of an intermediate level song for the chord playing pianist. It should not be the first song that you play from a chord chart, but if you've played at least a few songs, you're good with triads and inversions. This might be a great song to start getting your hands on these seventh chords and extensions. So let's start with the intro. This is a hook. We really hear this same melody every time in the intro. And then again in this transitional interlude that heads into the bridge. And then finally in the outro of the song, we hear this same hook again and gets extended a little bit. The hook is mostly just outlining a B flat minor triad in the right hand. And this is our 4-note triad shape. We've taken the B flat minor, doubled that top note down an octave. So if we arpeggiate that up from bottom to top, we have most of the melodic hook. And you can start repeating the notes you've left behind to add a little chord texture, while the left hand walks down through this descending bass line. And you notice we end up with a G flat major 7 chord, just by virtue of having the G flat in the bass. The right hand is still playing a B flat minor triad. And this concept is going to apply throughout the song. When you see these 7th chords, a lot of times a good way to handle that is play the root note in your left hand and then the top 3 notes in some version in your right hand. You can play it in root position like this, or in an inversion, or a 4-note triad shape like this. And that often makes for a really good voicing for a 7th chord. So then we go like this. So now we are outlining an F dominant 7 without the 5th, and I'm grabbing this with finger 5 and going 2, 1, 2 to get the lower melody. And that's going to be a little tricky to make that sound connected in your hand, but it's only 2 measures of music and you're going to use it 3 times in the song. So your practice here will pay off. Now let's go to the verse. And as I said, I'm not going to spend too much time on the basics of the triads here, but I'll point out some other things as we go along. So So here on the D minor 7 chord, I'm doing that same thing. I have the 3 top notes of the 7th chord in my right hand, and I'm turning it into a 4-note triad shape and arpeggiating that. 7th chord, 7th chord. This A minor 7 chord is really cool because you don't often hear this chord in the key of B flat major. We are definitely in the key of B flat major, which makes A minor 7 non-diatonic. The E does not actually belong in the key. Now we have this thing on the C minor 7, F7, B flat. And basically, my left hand is playing those root notes, but my right hand doesn't worry too much about the chords. Instead, I'm playing this melody, like a fill, and it's all harmonized in thirds. You can grab a little bit of grease here into the third of this is the third of the B flat major scale as you go, if you want to make it sound more bluesy. Then here we have C sus4 going to C.
Just as well be blind.
He seems to every time play an arpeggio there on the G minor 7. Always seems to be. And here's our A dominant 9 chord. So this is a classic rootless voicing in my right hand. We have the voices root in the bass, and then 7, 9, 3, 5 for that A dominant 9 chord.
It always seems to be so hard to give.
You notice this song it goes way outside of my vocal range. So this is the part where I started dropping everything down an octave. If you have a high male tenor, you should go up here the same way that Billy Joel does. So here we are at the D7. We start on a sus, so this is a nice voicing for this D sus that emphasizes this melody we're gonna play. And it's like a walk up, 3, 4, 5, and then leads into this top note of the first chord of the chorus. So we're gonna double that in octaves in our right hand, while we leave the 7th and the root of the D7 in the middle of the chord. And if you want to get extra fancy with this walk-up moment in the recording, the bass follows this a third lower. Right? And again, we are not using the B flat major scale here. We're briefly acting as if we're in G minor, and this is melodic minor. So it's okay if that goes over your head, but I think for the more advanced students, that will make sense. We're stepping into this closely related key, the relative minor, and the D7 chord here is really acting as a secondary dominant. That also explains the A7 chord, which is very much non-diatonic, right? We have the 2 white keys that should be black keys in this key, but because it's immediately going to a D chord, our ears like it as that kind of 5-to-1 cadence. Let me play the verse again so you hear all those details in context.
It isn't hard to find. You can have the love you need to live.
Here are the thirds.
If you look for truthfulness, you might just as well be blind.
Arpeggio. Rootless voicing. Walk up.
Honesty.
So that takes us into the chorus. Now, in the chorus, he does this really nice thing in the right-hand voicings where we leave G on top. So here's a nice voicing for our E flat major 7. And then we leave G on top and we get an F dominant 9 chord. In the key, this is the 4 chord and the 5 chord. We move on to another D chord, but this time with F sharp in the bass. And then here, we'll come back to this F chord with G on top. No dominant 7 this time, just a triad with G on top. And this melody seems to be important. He plays it every time. So C, D, C, and then triads. And that's another hook that he plays every time. And then here at the end of the chorus, a lot of these little details in the piano part are kind of acknowledging the melody. And of course, he knows where the melody is. He's the one writing it and also playing piano. So when he sings, mostly what I need from you, he's going to do something in his right hand that respects that rather than just playing need from you. He does need from you. He's kind of harmonizing that with this, E flat major or C minor shape with the same rhythm as the melody. So that's another really nice detail to put in there at the end of the chorus. So the chorus, again, with those details, under tempo, sounds like this. Honesty is such a lonely word. Everyone is so untrue. Honesty is hardly ever heard, but mostly what I need from you. And the second chorus then transitions into this interlude that's identical to the introduction, right? So classic pop song form here, we have intro, verse, chorus, interlude into the bridge. And I haven't played the bridge at all yet, so here's how the bridge sounds. Forgive that I'm singing in an octave lower. I can find a lover, I can find a friend, I can have security until the bitter end. Anyone can comfort me with promises again. I know. So again, in the bridge, you can get a long way just interpreting the chords on the chart. But some of these details that you'll hear that he's doing rhythmically in the bridge are this kind of ba-bum, ba-bum rhythm. So yeah. So here we have G minor, D over G, and I'm going to arpeggiate this down with that rhythm. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and then go to the F minor 6. Now, with a minor 6 chord, we are using this note as the 6th. It's a whole step above the 5th. That can be confusing to folks because, in a natural minor scale, this would be the 6th. But unless you see flat 6, a minor 6 chord has this 6th. It's the 6th from the major scale in F as that top note. So really nice harmony here. F minor 6. And then we have C. And the fact that it says C add 2 over E, that's just because we're holding on to that D on top of the chord. And you can take that same rhythm again, but maybe arpeggiate it up like he does. And then again here, through all of this, I'm putting notes on the top of my right hand that respect the melody. Otherwise, we might just have triad harmony. Anyone can comfort me with promises, right? This could just be E flat, F, B flat. But because he's singing C in the melody, anyone can comfort me with promises again. It's nice to play E flat 6. Anyone can comfort me. You could even go, anyone can comfort me. So there I'm playing the D in the melody, D, C. And then here, let's harmonize that promises again. So promises, promises again with that 4 to 1 in the right hand, or you could do 2 minor to 1 in the right hand. Promises again, I know. Here we have G minor over C, going to C7. And again, F6 is respecting the D in the melody. I know. And then this thing is really nice as a fill. We have the 5 chord, right? F is the 5 chord in the key of B flat. And we're kind of using C minor as the shape in the right hand. Really nice way to play a 5 sus chord and playing this little melody on top. If you wanted, you could harmonize that in sixths or in triads, but it's a little cumbersome compared to just playing it as single melody notes in your right hand. And that's it for the bridge. Here's the bridge at a nice slow tempo.
I can find a lover, I can find a friend, I can have security until the bitter end. Anyone can comfort me with promises again. I know, I know.
And back to the verse. So that'll be the third verse. We have one more verse, one more chorus. If you're more of a vocalist than I am, and you want to really mimic his vocal performance, it's worth paying attention to the things he does a little bit differently with the vocal melody in the last chorus. But, you know, Billy Joel's the authority on that, not me. You should listen to the recording, not my tutorial video. The outro is just a little bit different from the intro and the interlude in that we have a couple bars here to end the tune. So let's look at that. So what we've added is E minor major 7, really cool chord. So it's a minor chord with the major 7, the same 7 we would see in a major 7 chord. Very bittersweet sound to that chord. And it's really more about the melody than it is about the chord here. We want to hear this melody, kind of like what he sings at the end of the bridge. So you're grabbing that with the top fingers of your right hand. And then here, F6, F7, B flat major triad. And these chord qualities, you know, the chord qualities don't matter as much as the melody. Really, we're harmonizing the melody in the interval of a sixth. And that ends the tune. That's it for our tutorial on this song. I hope you do pick up my chord chart for this song. It's just one page. This is the kind of song where you can find really great transcriptions of it in full sheet music. But like the one that I found is 5 pages long, and it can be really helpful to just have things consolidated into a chord chart as a visual reference for yourself when you're working towards what anybody covering this song should work towards, which is to memorize the music. And ideally, if you're performing it vocally, also memorize the lyrics so that you can play it whenever you want to, hopefully for a listening audience. So the link for that chord chart, again, is in the video description. And if you want help with any of the theory concepts going into this song, I went pretty fast. Again, this is aimed at more intermediate or advanced chord playing pianists. But if you'd like help building up those skills to play all those chord shapes over time, that's the whole point of my Piano Fluency membership course. So you can head to pianofluency.com to learn more about what I do over there to help students develop muscle memory and intuition around these things. Either way, thanks for joining me with this song tutorial. My name is Ted with Piano Fluency.